everyone. Hope you're doing great today. Today I'm going to be demonstrating a necklace that I've been making now for a while using some crystals, and I'm using diamond quartz today because I just really like diamond quartz. So, excuse me, this is a necklace I'm going to be making. So each of these bead cages has a crystal in it, and it's a diamond quartz crystal. I'll hold this up a little closer so you can see the crystals in there. So it's a very simple design, but also looks really elegant, and because of the crystals inside, you can see it makes things look extra sparkly. So I will show you. I'm going to wear mine. So what you will need to make one of these is a clasp. I like using lobster claw clasps. They're easy to take on and off, simple. You'll need jump rings. These are 8mm, and I have all sorts of different sizes of jump rings in this box, but I'm going to use 8mm. You'll need these bead cages, and you'll also need pliers. I like using flat nose. I need 2 flat nose pliers, or you can use 1 flat nose and 1 round nose. Take your pick, but I like using 2 flat nose to open and close the jump ring lengths, and I'll show you why as I go through this. I just find that they click and hold better and just easier to maneuver. And then of course you're going to need crystals. So also give me a shout out if you're here. Say hello. If you have any questions, please feel free to pipe in. So these are diamond quartz crystals, and I have them in different sizes, but these are the small ones that I get especially to use for this purpose. You can see I have them in my earrings too. I can show you how to make these a different day, but it's a very similar technique except for what I do in the bottom and to put the ear wires on. So today I'm going to show you how to make this necklace. Okay, so of course not all crystals are created equal. They're not all the same size, so this always gets tricky. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to open up a jump ring. And the best way to open a jump ring, usually I can feel it with my finger here. Sometimes you can't see where there's an opening, so I usually put my finger or fingernail here just to find out where it is. Then I take one end of my, one side of my flat nose pliers on one end, and then I put the other flat nose plier on the other end. And you don't open the jump ring this way because it can distort it. You want to move it side to side, and just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot. So what I'm going to do now is I just opened it side to side like that. You can see it's open just a little bit, and I'm going to slide my clasp on here, and then I'm going to take my pliers back in my hand here again and then just close it. And if you can hear that, I don't know if you can hear, it clicks when it closes, if you're doing it right. So now I have that on there. Okay, so now I'm going to open a second jump ring. And I'm going to attach it to the first one I opened, but I'm not going to close it yet. I'm going to leave it open. Now I'm going to see about opening up one of these bead cages. So these bead cages, you can see there's no opening and closure on here. So I have to open up a little bit of the side here. So what I do, so I'm just typing here, be sure to say hello. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pliers here, and I am going to open up. You can see where my pliers are. I'm going to open up one side just a little bit, Just going to bend it over. And all of these are silver plated, by the way. Everything I'm using is silver plate. So you can see now I've opened it up just a little there. Now I'm going to see if I can fit one of my crystals in. I'm going to take a bunch out here. Not all the crystals will fit in these, and a lot of it is just trial and error. So now I have a crystal here. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to see about sliding it in here. So I am trying to slide it in, and sometimes they fit, sometimes not, and that one just went in. So now that that one is in, I'm going to use my pliers again just to close carefully the hole that I opened. I'll show you the crystal is in there. See that? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my jump ring that I just opened, and I'm going to slide this bead cage onto the open jump ring. And I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and close the jump ring. And then I've got the first one on there with the clasp on one end. So you basically just keep repeating the process until you're done. I have on this necklace that I'm making, there's 18 of these bead cages. And I get these bead cages from Fire Mountain Gems. It's the only place I've found these. So now again, I'm going to open up one of these bead cages. Let me show you. I'm grabbing it with my my flat nose pliers here, and I'm just going to bend it open just one end, just a little bit, opening it just a little, so that's open just a little bit there, and see about fitting a crystal in. Now sometimes because no two crystals are the same size, and you want to make sure that you have crystals that are big enough that they'll fit in here, they don't fall out, but you don't want them too big so you can't fit them in here. Sometimes opening just one side here, one opening, one section isn't enough, and they'll open up two to fit the crystals in. So like that. Because this crystal was a little too big to fit in, and now this one fits perfectly fine. So I'm going to close up carefully what I opened. Hi Wendy, I hope you're having a great day. So now I've got that crystal in there. I've closed things up. Now what I'm going to do is open up another jump ring. I have to find the end too that's to open it up. Take both pairs of pliers, one on each end. Twist things opposite direction, just a little bit like that. And then I'm going to slide it onto the bead cage I've already put on here. I'm going to insert the jump ring there, and then I'm going to add the bead cage I just put a crystal in. Slide that on there like that, and then I'm going to close the jump ring. You can hear it clicking, which means that it's closed up nice and tight. Another way to be sure if you've got it tight or not on your jump rings is to just put your finger over the hole. And that if you feel it being kind of sharp, that means you haven't closed it right. But if it's smooth, which this one is, you've got it on right. So now I've got two bead cages on here. Hope you're doing great, Wendy. So now I'm going to open up another bead cage. Again, I've got 18 of these to do total. And I'm opening this up a little bit with my pliers. Now let's see about finding this crystal. I'll show you. This crystal is a little bigger than one of the ones I've put in. But because it's bigger, I have to open up both sides here. that to get it to fit in, and sometimes even then it doesn't fit. Again, like I said before, this is not an exact science. It takes some playing with. Oh, and I got it in. Success. Now I'm going to close the part that I opened on the side of the bead cage carefully. And that one is in there. I'm going to attach the jump ring again, opening open this one, slide it onto the last one I did previously, put the new link on, and then close the jump ring. I'm glad you're watching, Wendy. It's nice to see that you're watching too. It's always good to see friends for sure. So take a look here now. See how it's the crystal in there adds an extra shine and flash to this. Isn't pretty? Right, so I've got 3 on. I'm just going to continue on here. I'm going to open up one little part. Stick a crystal in, but this one's a little too big. Just see about opening up the other side. This crystal may be a little too big for this one to fit in. There's not much wiggle room here. There we go. Got it in. So of course I'm using diamond quartz, but you can, and diamond quartz is also known as, if you're in New York State, like Herkimer diamonds, that's the same kind of thing. And no, they're not diamonds, it's all quartz, but they're called diamond quartz because they look so much like diamonds because they're so super shiny. And they have the same kind of crystal kind of look to them. So yeah, in New York State, there's Herkimer, it's called Herkimer diamonds, which is the same kind of thing. It's a diamond quartz. So, although these are not from Herkimer, these are actually from Pakistan. And diamond quartz is like one of the best, most powerful overall healing crystals you can have. So it's good just for overarching for everything. Plus they look really pretty. I'm just going to keep going here until I'm done. It doesn't take me all that long because I've been doing these for a while. But yeah, I'm putting 18 of these on here. So now I'm opening up another cage. So some of these crystals I'm going to show you. I've got some here that are really kind of tiny. So they're nice. They're small, but they're too small for these because they'll slide right through the holes here, even if they're closed. Okay, so I have a crystal here that's going to stick in. It's a little thick just for opening one side, so I'm going to open the other. There it is. And yeah, this is a little time consuming, but the look is just so worth it. So I've got another crystal in the bead cage here. And you can, again, make these as long as you want, or short. I've made these into bracelets too. Hi Melanie, I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for joining. So I am making one of these necklaces, and each of these bead cages has diamond quartz crystal inside. And here's some of the crystal. Here's a lot of the crystal that I have, and these are the smaller pieces for this purpose. Okay, so what I do, again, because you're just joining us, Melanie, is I'm going to open one of these just a little bit with my pliers. Let's see about fitting a crystal in, and sometimes, yeah, that one's need to open up the other side. And like that. There's a hole open there. And crystal will slide right in. So, and of course, because no two crystals are the same, I have to kind of play with things as I go, just because I never know which ones will fit exactly, and I may have to open up more on the bead cage to get the crystal in. I'm trying to find opening of my jump ring here. There, found it. Sliding that into the necklace that I'm working on, putting the new bead cage on. And you could do all the bead cages first if you wanted, but I find sometimes also because of the metal here, really sometimes can like hurt my hands if I'm doing that all the time. So I give my hands a break by doing this piecemeal. I just find it's kinder on my hands. Because when I make a lot of these in a row, sometimes my fingers can really get a bit sore from the metal. Alright, so here's a bit of a larger crystal here. We'll see if that fits. Yeah, that's going to be a little big. I have to open the second side here to get that in. And that fits in. Lovely. And that crystal's in there nicely. See that? So, and these necklaces, because these bead cages are really super light, and the crystals are not heavy either, especially because they're so small. So when you wear these, it doesn't feel heavy at all. I mean, I suppose if you made one of these super, super long, it might weigh a lot more, but even so, I don't think it would weigh you down much at all. I'm closing the jump rings here. This one's giving me being a little ornery. There we go. Okay, open another bead cage. Cruising right along here. Okay, now that crystal is definitely too big for just one side open. I can open the second. We'll see. And then for the bead crystals that I have here that are too small to fit in here, I have other uses for them. I have I do like lockets, glass lockets with crystals in them, and that's what I use the really super small pieces for that are too small for this. Pull out a few more jump rings. So there's always a use for the different size crystals, and then for the ones that are too big for here, I can put them in, either I can wire wrap them, I can put them in different bead cages as well. I have much bigger ones that are more, some are expandable, some are not. And it's fun to try different things and work with different sizes of crystals. Okay, that one's in. So making progress here. So this would actually be about the right size almost for a bracelet. But I'm going to continue on. I'm going to make a necklace because I feel like making a necklace today. And these are silver plated. So I don't know if you've watched any of my other demos. I did a demo a month or two ago on how to clean your silver jewelry. And it's not just jewelry. You can also use it for if you're using utensils, anything like that. But if you haven't seen it, you should go look because it's super easy to use with things that you probably have in your house already. Fast, easy, and you can use it for your jewelry as well. Because sometimes it'd be a pain and a half to try and eventually, if you needed to polish this, which you don't need to do often. I mean, I've been wearing mine for a while and it doesn't tarnish much at all. But with all the little nooks and crannies, it makes it much easier to clean using the other method rather than using a polishing cloth. So what I always do here when I'm putting a crystal is I always open one side first, and if the crystal doesn't fit in right, then I'll open the other side so that it will fit. And they don't always fit. Sometimes I have to, oh, this is a bum bead cage. Okay, let me take the crystal out of here. This bead cage is no good. Get another one out here to replace it so I don't forget. And the bead cages just come like in bags like this. Right. So these bead cages, even though they do move, you do have to be careful not to break them, but sometimes, like anything else, sometimes they are defective. And I do once in a while when I'm purchasing things, especially like in bulk, once in a while I'll get something that's defective. That's okay, it's just, it happens. Hi Barbara, hope you're having a great day. Get this crystal in here. It doesn't want to budge, and it went in the other one, but maybe that's because it was broken. Try playing with this a little bit more. Yeah, that crystal's not going to go in. Try a different one here. So in that crystal I was just trying to put in here, it's not huge, but because of the thickness of it, just wouldn't go in. So you'd think something like this, oh yeah, it'd fit in there just fine, but not the case. That's why you have to kind of play with them, and not all the crystals fit. If you have any questions, please feel free to type in. I can see as you're typing. I'm going to close this up. So I'm just continuing doing the same thing. And yes, this is my own design. I actually started out making bracelets with these and the earrings to match. But then I was thinking, you know, wouldn't it be kind of nice to make them into necklaces too? These are more of my high-end pieces because there's a lot of crystal in here and the time involved to make them. Oh, this crystal is, let's see if I can get it in. It's so close. No, that one's just not going to go in either. But that one will. So as you can see, I put the crystal in there. It's all closed up and ready to go onto the necklace. And sliding onto the main part of the necklace I've made. I'm going to put the new bead cage on. And I'll close my jump rings again, moving them side to side, not out, but side to side. And you'll hear a little click when it closes tight. Not quite there, it's still off a little bit. Okay, that one's good. So this crystal is definitely way too big, but isn't it pretty? I mean, they're just so beautiful. To open the other side just a little bit and pop it in. I've had some people ask me about how I make these, so I'm showing you all today. Opening up the jump ring. See, it's getting there. Getting down there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 6 more cages to go. And I need to pull out some more crystals. And again, you can do this with really any kind of crystal, but you have to make sure that they're small enough to fit in these cages. And I know I have a thing for diamond quartz. I just think they're so pretty. And because they're such a powerful healer, they're just so useful for anything. Not just looking pretty, but also for helping you feel good. Besides making you feel good when you wear them. So look how pretty. See how shiny that is? That's all natural. It's not polished. That's just the way the crystals are. Now sometimes when I put that one, it was a little bit smaller, but when I have smaller ones like that, often what I'll do is I will just look to make sure that it's gonna stay in here just fine. That one does look like it'll be fine. But I do have to test them out when the pieces are smaller, just to make sure that they're not gonna fall out of the cages. Getting there. Four more to go. The crystal I have here is a little bit bigger. I don't know if it'll fit. I'll show you. It's really pretty. They're all pretty. See if that'll fit in here. Maybe a little too fat. Let's see if I can move the ends here a little to fit it in. No, just a little big. More jump rings. So I also I'm using here, this is a bead mat, and if you're going to do any jewelry making, I do highly recommend you have it, or like a piece of felt. These aren't beads, but it helps to keep things from rolling away. I think this crystal will probably be too big, but I want to show it to you because it's just so pretty. Isn't it lovely? I'll see. My guess is it's going to be too big for this one. Yeah, that's just too big. Just a little too fat. Getting down there. Two more to go. Sometimes some of the crystals will be more, instead of being more round and fat, will be more like flatter. Like this one is kind of more flat. So sometimes I can fit those in more, and that one went in just fine, even though it's a bigger size. All basically depends on how big around they are. They're more flat, they tend to fit in these a lot easier. I will show you what I do to finish this necklace off. A few more jump rings here. Putting the last cage on here. Okay, so now I've got all the bead cages on here. I only have one end of the clasp, so I have the lobster claw clasp already attached. So you need to be able to clip this onto something. So what I do is I add 2 jump rings to the end. So it gives you something for the lobster claw clasp to attach to. So what I do is I open just one jump ring. I leave the other one closed. Just slide it on to the open one. Close the open one. This jump ring is not wanting to close properly. Sometimes it takes a little maneuvering. Just gonna feel it with my finger here. Yeah, it's a little scratchy. It's not closed properly all the way. So now I have 2 jump rings dangling off the end here, which you can use to attach your lobster claw. And attach the lobster claw clasp here. Done. And it's basically the same thing that I'm wearing. So you can make these, again, different lengths. You can just, or you can just use the amount I did. You can add more jump rings on the end to make it longer that way. There's all sorts of different ways you can play with it, but I like this design. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's lightweight, and you can see how sparkly it is, and that's because of all the crystals that are inside those cages. So I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will be saving this onto my Facebook page, and it will be going on to my YouTube page as well. And I look forward to seeing you again soon. And have a great day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Bye.